to order the Monday, December 14th special meeting of the Town Council Committee of the Whole. All councilors are present with the exception of Councilor Heed, who is working this evening. New business is 2020-842, reapportionment of the representative town meeting, Town Charter, Section 4.2.2. Let's see, Councilor Baumgartner, would you like to move this, please?
Yes. I'll make a motion to recommend to approve the amended representative town meeting membership reapportionment effective for the town of Groton, November 2nd, 2021, municipal election. So moved.
Second, Bordelon.
Moved by Baumgartner and seconded by Bordelon. Thank you. Let's see, Madam Clerk, did you wish to add anything at this point? I think the council is aware of the circumstances, but if you'd like to speak, I would be happy to recognize you.
Well, I want to thank Councilor Melendez, because as soon as he wrote that email, it already piqued my eye after I sent everything to the council and had it done. And I thought, oh boy, the town attorney has another opinion that really spoke closer to what we had been doing, even though there is ambiguity in the charter. You want to look at your past practice. So that's why I prompted the change, the amendment here. But thank you, Councilor Melendez. It's a good thought.
Indeed. Thank you very much.
Eagle eye.
He does.
Those quiet ones you have to watch out for. Not you, Betsy.
Councilor Baumgartner.
Being quiet or modest.
Councilor Baumgartner.
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor. Would just like to thank the town clerk for promptly emailing a response I had emailed earlier asking a few questions regarding how the town identified or chose electors, what measure they used to choose electors, whether they were to use the active versus inactive voter list. And so the town uses the active voter list to determine for electors. However, in some cases, a person who has not voted in some time may be on the inactive voter list, but they are still voters. So sort of my question, it was answered by Betsy and our town attorneys, but I definitely think that, in the future, we should have discussions about maybe using a system where we're using the total population, because I think that's more representative of just the public, of the total population of Groton. So I know obviously that's in the town charter and we can't, we have to follow the charter, but I do hope we could use a system that is, again, more reflective of, representation of the whole town. But thanks again to Betsy and the town attorneys for responding to some of my questions.
Councilor Franco.
On this calculation, which I had done the calculation prior to our last meeting, and what I thought was we were rounding up or rounding down. So that's not the correct. What we're supposed to be doing is just completely taking off whatever's after the decimal point or as a fraction, and whatever the whole number is the number. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So correct. Even if it's like 6.8, it doesn't matter. It's just 6 representatives.
Exactly. So that's exactly how I agree with you. And I would have interpreted it as the only thing that we were trying to minus the fractions was the original sum that we were taking the entire elector population and dividing by 45. And because I agree, how can you have a 0.49? 9 is, it's almost a full person, So I agree, but that's not what the town attorney said, and that's not what past practice had been. So until we have a charter change and that's cleared up in one way or another, I mean, we might end up with Councilor Baumgartner's idea if we ever have a charter change, you know, and increase the size of the RTM. Oof. But
So last time we did the calculation, was it rounded or was the anything after point the fraction just removed? How did we do it last time?
Well, the original sum of the full elector by 45, that was there was no, I subtracted any fraction. And then I calculated each district total of electors and I rounded up. That's why you ended up with 44 instead of 41.
No, I'm sorry. I'm going to interject for a second. I think you mean the last time the reapportionment was done. Is that what you were asking? The last time the reapportionment was done, it was done to match what you're voting tonight.
So the fraction was just cut off. Even if it was like 0.99, it was cut off and it wasn't rounded.
Right.
Okay. Thank you very much. That's what I wanted to make sure we were doing.
And the town attorneys did look at this actual resolution and made sure it was done correctly.
All right, very good. Seeing none, we will vote on 2020-840 reapportionment of the representative town meeting. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? So moved unanimously with 8 counselors. I will entertain a motion to adjourn the COW.
So moved.
Moved by Zepari. Is there a second?
Yes.
Seconded by Aubrey. All those in favor of adjourning the COW, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? So moved unanimously with 8 counselors. The COW is adjourned at 6:37. Now we're going to go straight into the council meeting. So it is now 6:37. And Madam Clerk, did you want to take care of this or do you want me just to go ahead?
Well, I can just say the same thing you did, that all counselors are present except Councilor Heed, who is excused.
Thank you. So we're at 8 counselors. New business is 2020-843 reapportionment of representative town meeting, town charter, section 4.2.2. Councilor Parker, could you take this one, please?
Resolution to approve the new representative town meeting membership reapportionment as amended, whereas sections 4.2.2 of the town charter require the town clerk to determine within 60 days after each presidential election the representation by voting district proportional to the number of electors residing in such voting district, and whereas at the November 3rd, 2020 election, the following voting districts and number of electors in each district is as follows, and therefore by computation, the number of representatives for each district is as follows. District 1, 3,569, number of representatives, 7. District 2, 2,255, 4. District 3, 3,044, number of electors, 6 representatives. District 4, 4,009, number of representatives, 8, gained 1 rep. District 5, 2,794, 5. District 6, 3,274, number of representatives, 6, lost 1 rep. District 7, 2,568, number of representatives, 5. The total active voters, 21,513, and total number of representatives, 41. Resolved that the town council does hereby adopt the town clerk's recommended reapportionment plan as amended, replacing the reapportionment plan adopted on December 8, 2020, effective for the town of Groton, November 2nd, 2021 municipal election. I so move.
Second.
Moved by Parker and seconded by Zepari. Okay, I was reading, so we'll go Councilor Bordelon and then Franco.
I'll let Councilor Franco go. She was before me.
Okay, thank you. Councilor Franco and then Bordelon.
I just have a quick question on process in regarding our rules. We had passed our rules, our council rules, and it stated that any decisions that we had made previously could not come back before the council unless we all approved it coming back prior to it coming on our agenda. So I just want to make sure that we're in compliance with our own rules by taking this up at the council meeting.
I think we have to be in compliance with the charter first and then the rules second. So by doing this, we are making sure that we are compliant with the charter.
Well, I just like to bring it up as a point that this is what I was trying. I had mentioned this in debate regarding our rules, that this is one of the examples of if something that even we vote in favor of and is decided, if it has to come back before us, it has to go through a council meeting for us to approve it prior to us seeing it again. So I think this may be an issue with our rules and not in compliance with our rules. Thank you.
You're welcome. The way I understand it is that the charter takes precedence over council rules. So whatever we need to do to be in compliance with the charter supersedes anything that would be in our rules. And I see the clerk turned her camera on. So did you wish to jump in?
Yeah, well, sure, but I think this is a revision to something that you've already voted on. I don't know if it would comply with the rule the new rule. I'd have to look at that even closer. But this is it's a new resolution. It's a changed resolution. So I don't, I know I labeled it as revised, so I don't know how. I guess it did get a revision number, so I don't know if that makes a difference for the rule. But send it to the Rules Committee.
Councilor Bordelon.
Thank you. My question is, so for District 6, under the original thing that became before us at our last meeting, they were staying the same. Is that correct? As far as representation, their numbers, they weren't?
So that was an incorrect number, so I'm not sure of the relevance at this point.
Okay, with all due respect, I'm asking a question and I have a relevance in the right to ask my question. And so I restate my question again. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
My question again was, under the wrong, as you stated, which that's the obvious, which I knew, that's why we're here.
Mm-hmm.
Under that was presented to us, and the number we have now, District 6 is losing a member in reference to that number. Is that correct?
Madam Clerk?
Yes, we are. You are correct, Councilor Bordelon. There is a difference in the computation, and therefore the District 6 now has 5, which...
So in reference to the election year, the previous election year, what changed in that district to lose a member?
Less registered voters.
So is this due to people moving out, or I'm just curious, as the District 6 is usually not a pretty big transient district, so I'm just wanting to look at those numbers more closely to make sure there's no error here. That's all.
Well, there isn't an error as far as the numbers that are in the system being electors, but I do see what your point is. It's usually a very heavy district, but there were less registered voters in that district, and there were a lot of people moving. I know that.
So what was the number that we had after the election last year in District 6 in reference to what we have as we're calculating as of today?
I can send that. I can send you all the registration information. I'm not at my office, so I don't have all that information.
Yeah, I'm just a little nervous to vote on the number. I think looking at the calculation, I'd like to see that number and then calculate it, because losing a whole member in District 6 is, I think, a big deal. They usually have a high voter turnout, and I just want to make sure there's no error here, or else we'll be back to the table again. That seems, I could see it in some other districts. I'm just a little shocked in District 6 that we would lose our numbers of registered voters went down in a presidential election where we had the higher voter turnout due to the current status of our country and all the other different things going on, that district would lose a whole voter with our new numbers. But once again, I'm just asking for the record because I'm just a little concerned about that. Just seems a little off to me. That's all. So if we don't have those numbers here, then I'm going to abstain tonight. I don't feel comfortable without having I think it's important when we come back, just in future, just good practice would be if we come back before with numbers that we're changing because of an error, and now we're coming and having a special meeting, it would be important to have last year's numbers incorporated in our paper if possible. I think it's really important to have that visually in order to make sure that we're representing the numbers correctly. I know I do it in my own job, last year's numbers before we finalize. So if we don't have last year's numbers before us tonight, I just have a little bit of trouble of voting on that. Thank you.
Madam Mayor, I can get out of the meeting and try to get that information, but I can't be in the meeting at the same time, so I'd have to get out and then come back.
You can forward that when you get back to the office on Tuesday. Thank you, Madam Clerk. All right, I see no other hands, so we will vote on 2020-840, reapportionment of the representative town meeting town charter section 4.2.2. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed? Abstentions?
Aye.
Gardner abstains.
So can we do this again, please? All those in favor, please raise your hand. Aubrey? Franco? Zapari?
Melendez.
Parker? Melendez? Granatoski? Opposed, 0. Abstentions, 2. We have 6 in favor, 0 opposed, 2 abstentions. That motion passes. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move, Parker.
Moved by Parker. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Aubrey.
Yeah.
All those in favor of adjournment, please say aye.
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 Opposed?
Aye.
Abstentions? 7 in favor, 1 opposed, Bordelon, 0 abstentions. We are adjourned at 6:48. Thank you very much for coming out and taking care of the town's business. We appreciate it very much.